go all the way. Oh, look at this. He's going to go all the way on it.
And Taylor, all alone, is going to go all the way.
Now see the stars of the game.
Unbelievable a play as you'll ever see.
Think about Monday night, it was prime time.
Play action fake. Bradshaw left spot.
Of course, he's always there.
Monday night was an event.
Big opening for Tony Dorsett. Look out, he's got great speed. 99 yards and a half. Washington lays it up for a shot. Touchdown.
But there goes Bo, and nobody catches Bo.
All the other players are going to be watching. I'll guarantee you that effective player.
Montana, Rice is there. Oh, is he putting on a show tonight? Gordon has Upchurch wide open. He sure does. Touchdown.
Everybody was fired up. They couldn't wait for the game to start.
Marino over the middle. The catch is made. Clayton for a touchdown.
Monday nights became a social happening.
Bounce going to Winslow. Winslow catches it.
If you played well on Monday night, your phone was ringing heavily on Tuesday morning.
What a football player that young man is.
Experience incredible plays.
What about Watson? Mobley still running. He's got him wide open. Action fake by Staubach. Going for Golden Richards, and he went home. Beautiful catch. Pressure on the first play, and right. Oh, I love it. Willie Gault, forget it.
Montana, short drop and a sack.
Look at that agility. That's a professional right there.
And relive the unforgettable moments.
There's a depressed Joe Namath.
On Monday night, they saw everything, the bad, the good, and the ugly.
Duckworth, they shouldn't catch him. He has great speed. Football. Can you believe that? Perry bites the football. How can it happen?
What a football game this turned out to be.
I didn't know you cared.
This is ABC's Monday Night Football 20th Anniversary Special. Now your host, Frank Gifford.
Welcome to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where in just about an hour you'll see the kickoff of our 20th season on Monday Night Football as the New York Giants take on the Washington Redskins. I'm standing outside our production trucks at RFK Stadium as we begin a season-long celebration. Tonight, we put together a time capsule that enables us to take a look back at many of the incredible plays and unforgettable moments that have made Monday Night Football not just a game, but an institution. Hopefully, we'll leave you entertained and with a sense of what Monday Night Football is all about. Now, this is what the cover of TV Guide looked like back in September of 1970 when we debuted. The cover story reads, Pro Football Tackles Doris Day. And the listings inside reveal some pretty stiff competition. The two men who made Monday Night Football a reality, NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle and the man with whom he negotiated the first contract, ABC's Roone Arledge, remember how that debut came about.
Well, actually, we had somewhat of a track record because we had experimented, I think, in 5 primetime games with CBS for various nights of the week earlier in the 60s. And we were convinced it would go. And we talked to CBS, and they said, you know what, move Doris Day? And they had Carol Burnett that night. You know, the NBC had Monday Night Movie. So then I talked to Roone and made a case of these 5 previous primetime games had done well. And he was obviously very interested, and I knew he would have to do a selling job on the network, perhaps.
We figured that we would lose something like 100 of our stations who would carry the football games independently, which would have wiped us out on Monday night. And so it was really fear more than anything else that is the way I got the network to agree to it.
Back in '69, when we were negotiating this, we had a provision in the contract that ABC had to guarantee that every game would be shown in color because it wasn't necessarily automatic in those days.
And here are the rosters of our first game as they appeared in TV Guide. And as indicated by the C in the upper right-hand corner, the game was indeed broadcast in color. Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell, and Don Meredith were reporting. But the Jets are behind on the scoreboard by a score of 14-7. And the ball game for the second half is underway as Jim Turner kicks off. It goes to Homer Jones. Homer takes it at the 6-yard line for the Cleveland Browns, and he breaks into the open. Now it's a foot race. All the way. Homer Jones goes 94 yards to start the second half. In the fourth quarter, Cleveland led 24-14 as Joe Namath and the Jets fought their way back.
Joe to throw. He's going deep into the corner for Sauer. He's got it.
First down, New York at their own 18-yard line. 47 seconds to play. The Browns lead 24-21. Before more than 85,000 people, Snido almost gets Namath. The pass is intercepted. It is intercepted by number 52, Billy Andrews. Touchdown, and no penalty flags on the field. There's a depressed Joe Namath.
And so from the beginning, Monday Night Football was a huge success on the field. But did Pete Rozelle and Roone Arledge in 1970 realize they had on their hands a sports phenomenon?
After the first year, I felt that we had a winner. I didn't necessarily feel certain it would last for 20 years, but I was very hopeful to do well right from the start.
I don't think I envisioned that it would change the habits of a country and that restaurants would start having special nights and that women's groups would hold their meetings on Mondays so their husbands could watch the games. And I think the impact, the crazy carnival aspect of it exceeded anything I had imagined.
This assignment, I interviewed President Richard Nixon. Former Michigan Wolverine football player Jerry Ford loved to watch from a somewhat safer distance. Jimmy Carter enjoyed his fishing as well as Monday Night Football. And Ronald Reagan joined us at the LA Coliseum more than a decade before he returned as president to open the Olympics. And Vice President-elect Bush stopped by in 1980. On the field, some of the finest passing combinations in NFL history have been showcased on Monday Night Football.
Dawson to throw. Wants to go deep. Pitts is out there by himself. Touchdown.
Oh, he's wide open is Swan. He may be able to turn it on. It's going to be Bernard Jackson again that pulls Ben Swan, who has been out, by the way, with a hamstring.
3rd and 7 from the 20. And Montana going deep for Rice. It's tipped and it's caught. And Rice is out in front and Jerry with a touchdown.
And how do you think Darrell Green feels? Gets a hand on the football. Instead of getting a pat on the back for a job well done, ends up being the GOAT.
2nd and 10 on the 13 as the Bronx come up in the eye this time. Elway going deep for Johnson. Makes the catch at the 50-yard line. Johnson in a foot race. He's got that bad toe, and so he's not as fast as he normally would be, but still gets all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Play action. Oh, my goodness. Hippo wants to foul. He's got the speedster Thompson. That's it. He will not catch Thompson. 94-yard touchdown. So it's Eric Hipple who has thrown the longest pass on Monday Night Football. His name topping such names as Montana, Elway, Marino, and Namath. Did Eric expect it to happen?
Kind of shocked me because we're down, with our back to the goal line. I think it was a 3rd down. I'm thinking, let's just run the ball out of here, a short yardage play type deal, and then we'll punt it out. And the coach sent in this pass to LT. It's a play action, short yardage play action pass. And I goes, "Are you kidding, Leonard? He wants to run this?" He goes, "Yeah, well, let's try it then." And Leonard actually took off for his route, and he got cut off by the safety. So he made some sort of weird adjustment, ran all the way across to the other side of the field. And I just had my eyes locked on him and threw it all the way across there. He took it all the way up the sidelines, ran in for a touchdown.
Hipple to Thompson, the longest pass in Monday Night history. William the Refrigerator Perry is not a contender in the long run category, but his teammates remember well his 1-yard scamper against the Packers in '85.
We tried to tell him, basically, he was getting the ball and which side, where to line up and where to go. I think Fritz was saying, "Okay, I'm going to do it. I got it, whatever." And when it happened, it was like, hey, it's sort of like dropping a real big rock into the ocean. It just opened up a real big hole.
They're giving the football to Perry. Touchdown. William Perry spikes the football. And this crowd loves it.
We were having a lot of fun with it. The linemen were just worried about Fridge falling on him as he went over. But they just kind of got out of his way and let him rumble in there, and he did a good job that night.
Perry may revolutionize short yardage offense. Quick toss. Franco Harris has Thornton out in front of him. First down and a bundle more. Look out.
Oh, boy.
Bill Thompson could save it. Bernard Jackson pulls down Franco Harris. Walter Payton is the NFL's all-time leading rusher, and he had great moments on Monday Night Football. 5 100-yard games. So many thrills for all of us. Yet Walter Payton, in contrast to his powerful presence on the field, remains Walter Payton off the field when he talks of all those games, all those thrills. As always, he's quiet, modest, and unassuming.
I put all the games I probably played on Monday night, they all about average. They were not very good in my standards.
Draw play to Payton. He gets away from one Bronco, and look out. This could be
the 19. Good
the one he's been waiting for.
Good, but no, look at that guy.
Lewis Wright cuts him off.
Almost, and he got it. Good play by Lewis Wright.
Payton down to the 12-yard line.
Payton's longest run on Monday Night Football, a 76-yarder, was topped by Miami's Leroy Harris by a yard.
Oh, yeah. In front of him.
All right. Turn out the light.
Beautiful cut back there.
He'll go all the way. Leroy Harris. Touchdown.
What fun.
And then there was Tony Dorsett.
Big opening for Tony Dorsett. Look out. He's got great speed.
99 yards and a half.
Dorsett down the sideline. Stays in bounds.
Can you believe that?
Tony's 99-yard run is the longest in NFL history. And he did it while the Cowboys had just 10 men on the field. Here's how Tony Dorsett remembers that memorable run.
I got the play, and I got a handoff. It was 31, I think the play was called. Right up the middle, right off the center's block. And I come through between center and guard, and I picked up a block. And I had a defender there, and I cut to my right to avoid him. And as I was running down the sideline, I see 2 defenders and Drew Pearson. And I'm seeing Drew's legs starting to tire. Drew was ready to shield the one defender. I tried my best to get around the other, and I thought he would push me out of bounds. He didn't put enough push into his effort. I was able to stay in bounds and go in for the touchdown. And when I got to the sideline, Gil Brandt said, I think that's an NFL record. And then it dawned upon me like, hey, I should have kept the ball. And that was the thing. The first thing that came to my mind was I should have kept the ball. Of course, I never got that football.
Back at Texas Stadium. Howard, where'd Don go?
Well, he's human.
Oh, here he is.
But here he is.
How's it going, group?
Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell, and Don Meredith were the first Monday night team in 1970. But in 71, I joined up with Howard and Don. Fred Williamson and then Alex Karras replaced Meredith in 74. But in 77, Don was back and Alex left. Fran Tarkenton joined us in 79, but by 83, O.J. Simpson was in and Fran moved on. Cosell departed the very next year, and in 85, Don said goodbye again, and Broadway Joe signed on. Joe and O.J. left in 86, leaving the booth for just Al Michaels and me. In 87, Big Dan Deerdorf joined the team. Through it all, it hasn't always been X's and O's and football strategy.
The former governor of Maryland and, of course, the vice president of the United States, Mr. Spyro Agnew. And, sir, your knowledge of the Colts through all the years is extraordinary.
Well, I've been around them a little while, and I'm a very loyal Colt fan. In spite of my national connections, Howard, I stick with the Colts.
It's not an easy thing for you, then, to pretend to a neutrality.
Pretty nice to have Vice President Agnew with us tonight, but you probably didn't notice he was wearing a Howard Cosell wristwatch.
And it is Halloween night. Don and Howard and I all wish you a very happy Halloween.
Ooh.
Speaking of color commentators, no one said life would be easy on the road.
We had to figure out a way to get Dan into the picture. We finally did it. Wide angle lens.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night.
The party's over.
I don't believe it.
And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.
A lot of people said our lights were a little dim in December of '83 when Don Shula outsmarted the so-called experts in the booth. Dolphins quarterback Bob Greasy was there. He picks up the story.
We were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Orange Bowl, and it was late in the game. There wasn't a lot of time left. I think we were ahead by like 6 points or something like that. It was 4th down and 10 or whatever, and I go over to talk to Shula on the sideline. He calls a timeout. And instead of putting the punting team in, which everybody in the stadium and everybody in America probably thought, and the guys in the booth, I'm sure, thought that we were going to do and punt the ball away, and I did too, he comes up and he almost shocks me because he's a pretty conservative guy. And he says, go in, and I'm not going to put the punting team in. Just go on in and run the next play.
I like this kind of style. Now, here it is. This is really a good play. Now, you got an inch to go, a couple inches to go. And I would imagine the way Shula's looking at it, he says, if my offensive team cannot make 2 inches, then by golly, they don't deserve to win.
Yes, capacity crowd or near capacity crowd on their feet on 4th down. Will it be the big man Tonka? And I believe they might have taken too much time.
The purpose of the play was to take a delay of game penalty, to get us closer to our own end zone.
Now then you got a punt.
Yeah, there's no question now.
Well, there seems to be one because I don't see any punters coming on the field.
That's it. Shula, I think it's just disgusted. Said go for it anyway. And, boy, if they miss it down here, Pittsburgh is going to have the ball.
I don't understand.
Inside the 10. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
All right, let's watch it. 4th down, a little over 5. Greasy's going to take
the safety. Sure.
I have to say that I was probably as shocked as those guys in the booth when Shula told me what we were doing. Of course, my concern then was, boy, if I drop this ball, if I miss the exchange from center, I'm in big trouble. Or if I don't beat L.C. Greenwood and Joe Green back to the end zone and take that safety and get a free punt, I'm in big trouble.
Shula's ahead of us all.
Yeah, he is. Why didn't I think of that?
Fortunately, all the gaffes have not been committed by the guys in the booth. Sometimes the guys on the field have looked a little silly, like the time Steelers wide receiver Dave Smith began his touchdown celebration a bit prematurely. How about the Broncos-Packers Snow Bowl? Green Bay fumbling twice in the first 39 seconds. Steve Foley took this one in. And then Louis Wright took another fumble in for a touchdown as the Broncos went on to win 17-14. And in a driving rainstorm, the St. Louis Cardinals met their NFC Eastern Division rivals, the Washington Redskins, and set new standards of ineptitude. St. Louis lost 8 fumbles, which to this day is an NFL record. And it seemed as if every player had a hand in setting the mark. That Mud Bowl game, incidentally, was played here at RFK Stadium, where shortly the Giants will take on the Redskins in the season premiere of Monday Night Football. Right now, I'm in our production trucks, and my colleagues Al Michaels and Dan Deerdorf are in the stadium. And as a matter of fact, Dan was a member of that Cardinals team that played that game in the mud. Dan, will you ever forget that one?
No, I won't, Frank, as long as you keep reminding me about it, as much as I have tried. And Al, the only thing I can think about when I think of that game is I think about the war I had with Ron McDowell, the great all-pro end of the Washington Redskins. And about halfway through this game, here we find ourselves sitting across from one another in a mud pile. And unbeknownst to me, he sneaks down, grabs a big glob of mud, and fires a bullseye right between my face mask and my eyes, my nose, my mouth. A whole new meaning of the expression, mud in your eye.
And when you think about it, is there a more perfect city in which to do some mud slinging?
No. Al, fortunately, tonight the field's in a little better shape.
And that's good news for an old teammate of yours, Otis Anderson, because with Joe Morris on injured reserve for the entire season, he's the main man as we preview tonight's game.
The Washington Redskins have supplied ABC's Monday Night Football with a colorful cast of characters through the years, but when the Skins inaugurate the 1989 Monday Night schedule tonight, they'll have a new look. Washington's running game has been revamped with the acquisition of 2 proven veterans. Former Falcon Gerald Riggs may be the man to run the Skins' famed counter gap. And to add depth to their power running attack, Washington also picked up Ernest Biner, who rushed for over 1,000 yards with Cleveland in 1985. Of course, the big question with Doug Williams injured is, will Mark Griffin be able to direct the offense as Joe Gibbs' #1 signal caller? His first test against the Giants.
And now, while the Redskin offense is wearing a new look, the once proud defense of the New York Giants is hoping to show the menacing game face that used to send shockwaves of fear throughout the NFL. And on offense, Phil Simms and Mark Bavaro look to create more Monday Night Magic, like this staggering catch and run against the San Francisco 49ers 3 seasons ago. It's the Giants and the Redskins, two teams trying to reestablish themselves as powerhouses in the NFC East.
But now on to next week as the Buffalo Bills, one of the league's emerging powers, turn their fine young defense loose against John Elway and the Denver Broncos. 2 weeks from tonight, the Dogs will be howling as the Cleveland Browns renew a bitter rivalry with the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. Then, it's a renewal of last season's playoff Fog Bowl between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chicago Bears. Minnesota makes 2 Monday night appearances as they try to break Chicago's stranglehold on the NFC Central Division. From the House of Pain, the Houston Astrodome, they'll be taking no prisoners when the Oilers tangle with the conference champion Bengals. The Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers have 3 Monday night dates in '89 as new head coach George Seifert heads into the post-Bill Walsh era.
The New Orleans Saints, seeking to return to their playoff form of 2 seasons ago, play host to the 49ers on November 6th. Then 3 weeks later, Phil Simms and the Giants travel to Candlestick Park. And finally, the Niners visit Anaheim, where they'll meet the Rams in a contest that could have a huge impact on the NFC Western Division title. Along with teams trying to maintain their position in pro football's elite, we'll also spotlight clubs seeking to make a comeback as the Broncos meet the Redskins on November 20th. Also seeking to return to glory are the Los Angeles Raiders. It's a super season of action ahead on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Back in the booth, and you might wonder how we can predict so accurately what's going to happen in the course of a ball game. We have our expert with us here this evening. Don, have you conferred with him about what we might expect the second half?
What do you think? He said there's a veritable plethora of talent out there.
On a night when Cincinnati's Ken Anderson passed for a Monday night record of 447 yards, he was almost forgotten.
O.J. Simpson gets the call. Look out. That's what they got to do. Just about right this off. Oh, and down goes Simpson at the 23. He gets up again. What a football player.
I remember that particular run, and there was one guy I had to beat. And it was a little slick, and I was going to cut back on him. I thought I had him because he was all out running. I think I can cut back and kind of waltz in the end zone, and I slipped. But after I slipped, he tried to stop, and he slipped. Then I got up, and I was trying to get to, I still thought I had a chance of scoring, but it was a good gain and sort of a fun play to watch.
An explosive ball club. Joe Ferguson, the #1 passer in the AFC. This man, #1 in just about everything.
Oh, he's too much. Look at this. He splits inside. He is too much.
They'll begin just short of their own 9-yard line. The 2 tight ends are in there, indicative of a running attack. Here comes O.J. again. Look at the juke. O.J. spinning, twisting, is all the way down to the 47-yard line.
Are you telling me he's gained 7,500 yards already? I got a 10-year-old car. I don't have that much mileage on it.
In '72, the Houston Oilers were in the final stages of a 34-0 trouncing at the hands of the Raiders at home. Most of the crowd was gone, but we were lucky enough to spot one loyal fan who, despite the rout, was still on top of his game.
Right there is a vivid picturization of the excitement attendant.
They're #1 in the nation.
In the Astrodome 6 years later, the Oilers met the Dolphins in what I've always felt was the most exciting game we've ever had. Former Houston coach Bum Phillips remembers.
That night, it was absolutely fabulous. Everybody in that stadium had a pom-pom, and everybody in that stadium was waving that doggone thing. And it was like a college football game. The crowd was into it more than any game I've ever seen.
And what a game it was for the Heisman Trophy winner from Texas, rookie Earl Campbell.
The kind of game we expected tonight. 2 fine teams.
Campbell, forget it. 6 points. Second
think that run right there put Earl Campbell on the map as well. Even after being a Heisman Trophy winner, going to the University of Texas, that run created a whole atmosphere of another life for me.
Almost a decade later, another Heisman Trophy winner appeared on the scene, a baseball player playing football as a hobby. His name, Bo.
And it's Jackson to the 40.
Look out.
Bo into Seattle territory inside the 40 and down to the 22-yard line. And every time he gets the ball, there's going to be that sense of anticipation.
Our anticipation was heightened that night by the expected confrontation of Bo going head-to-head with the strange one from the land of Boz.
3rd and 1 from the 2. Here's Bo. And here goes Bo for the touchdown. He and Bosworth one-on-one, and Jackson just jumps him into the end zone.
That's the matchup you like to see. If you're Seattle, Bo Jackson with the ball, Brian Bosworth. Here's Bo Jackson. He's going to go here. Here's Brian Bosworth. They're going to meet on the 2-yard line and end up in the end zone. Watch the Boz. He plays it perfectly, flows to the football, meets Bo Jackson at the 2. Sorry, 220 beats 240 easily.
And Bo Jackson to the 20 and out in front, and only one man to beat him. Easily can't run him down. He had the angle, but there goes Bo, and nobody catches Bo. Touchdown.
He may not stop till Tacoma. He's gone.
Portland.
He just went by Spokane.
There go the Raiders into final. What a scene.
Come on back, guys.
Oh, he was flying. Bo holds the Monday Night Football record for the most yards rushing in a game, but for Bo Jackson, that night remains very special for many reasons.
The first thing that happened that week, my wife and I found out that we were pregnant with our second son that we have now, who's Nicholas. My birthday was that Monday night. And to top it off, the Raiders went out and played a superb game. We needed that win badly, and we got it.
Bo, Earl, and O.J., 3 of our greatest hits on Monday Night Football. Speaking of hits,
Willingham will field the ball at the 5. Willingham is completely turned upside down at the 25.
Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. Got nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. Got nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. Got nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide.
one hit that seemed routine produced a terrifying injury. A broken leg for Joe Theismann when tackled by the Giants' Lawrence Taylor. Taylor's teammate Harry Carson described the irony of his own involvement.
I was going in on a blitz, and Theismann just sidestepped me. Had I made the tackle on Theismann, he would have been okay. We probably would have won the game because as a result of Theismann getting hurt, Jay Schrader came in, and he just passed us to death, and they won the game.
If Harry would have been good enough to tackle me, I could still be playing and enjoying reaping the benefits of all these quarterback signings at this point. So I don't know whether to thank Lawrence for getting me out of the game in time. I don't know whether to blame Harry for not tackling me in the first place so that I could still be playing right now. So I guess in one way, Harry, I still don't know why you couldn't at least lock your arms and make a tackle.
On yet another Monday night, the noise, the roar of the crowd that Darrell Stingley loved so much returned as the Patriots saluted their former wide receiver. That night, his teammates were again his inspiration. In a Saturday preseason game in August of 1978, Stingley was hit by Oakland Raiders defensive back Jack Tatum. He was almost totally paralyzed.
When the injury first occurred, I never got a chance to hear what the doctors were saying because I was too busy fighting for my life. And as a result of the accident, I was able to actually sit and spend more time in development of relationships and rapport with my family and or friends. And I think as a result of that I've gotten more out of life particularly on the emotional level. You know, life is not all physical, it's not all sport. You know, you have to apply yourself to other things. And as a result, I feel like my life is much more fulfilled.
Just over a year later, Darrell began to appreciate how his courage had touched the lives of so many others when his teammates and fans welcomed him home.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to make a very special player introduction. Number 84, wide receiver, Darrell Stingley.
Not only were the fans applauding his teammates on the sidelines, facing up to the press box, applauding number 84.
I suppose it's impossible to really try to imagine what's going through his mind.
I had no idea that the response of the fans would be so tremendous as it turned out to be. I guess it also took the place of the cheers that I wouldn't hear eventually, because my career was cut so short.
This is a moment to remember. As one fans the stands, looks at these people, one realizes what an athlete can come to mean to a population.
After that night, after the way that people responded, it sort of served like a launching pad of sorts. Sort of made me be a little bit more comfortable with myself, I guess, and the public. Sort of like charged up my batteries and got me ready to go back out into the world and try to make something of my life.
Darrell Stingley today provides an inspiration far greater than he ever could have dreamed.
I guess you can look at me now and tell that I'm doing just fine.
Have met on Monday nights.
You ought to be in pictures. You're wonderful to see. You ought to be in pictures. Oh, what a hit you would be. You ought to be in pictures. My star.
Over the years, NFL players have used our stage for memorable performances. Such was the case when an injured Jim McMahon, who did not expect to play, came off the bench with the Bears trailing the Vikings 17-9.
Well, they told me late in the week that I wasn't going to play at all. You know, I hadn't been to practice. I was in traction for 2 days, and we came out for warm-ups that night, and I threw the ball real well. And I went to Coach Ditka. I said, "If you need me, I'm ready." And he said, "Well, just sit down and rest. You're not going to play." I kept bugging him all the whole game, let me play, let me play. And I think he put me in just to get me off the sidelines and stay out of his ear.
And here he is, Jim McMahon, late All-American from Brigham Young University, has taken over for the Bears. Pressure on the first play, and right. Oh, I love it! Willie, don't forget it. If he gets behind you, it's over, and McMahon paid the price, but he got the touchdown.
The next play was I think we had a bootleg called, and I hit the fourth receiver for a touchdown. We hadn't hit him all year. He was the only guy open.
McMahon firing. McKinnon. Touchdown. McMahon has thrown 2 footballs tonight. 2 touchdowns.
A few plays later, I ended up hitting another guy for a score, and turned the game around, and we ended up winning.
Well, he almost pulled Ditka's leg too long because Ditka wasn't going to play him tonight because he had not worked out. On first down, this is McMahon again, wide open field in front of him. He wants a bundle. McKinnon. That is McKinnon's 3rd touchdown pass tonight for McMahon. McKinnon's 2nd, a 43-yard effort, and he is blowing this game away. He makes things happen. And then there was that rainy night in Foxborough, an unbelievable 4th quarter. Baltimore and New England, and Joe Washington. Toss goes to Washington, and he can pass. He has a man wide open. He's got Roger Carr. Roger Carr.
How do you like that?
I liked it. He
He's got Joe Washington all alone.
Open. It's
Yes, sir. Oh, that was pretty. Wilson. This is Joe Washington. That is Joe Washington.
Look at this.
There it is Joe Washington.
He's on his feet. He has great speed.
There it is Joe Washington.
Oh, this. How can it happen?
Football game this turned out to be.
On Halloween night, the witches, goblins, and all the trappings were a backdrop, as Eric Dickerson didn't need a broom to perform his special brand of magic, the Colts scoring a Monday Night Football record 55 points.
Inside the 13, and Dickerson breaks the tackle, touchdown. Second and goal from the 11. They give it to Dickerson. And Dickerson has his second touchdown. Here's the wishbone. With Dickerson as the left halfback, Wansley and Bentley are the other backs. They give it to Dickerson, and his fifth straight carry is his third touchdown of the night. Indianapolis at the 41-yard line, and Dickerson's huge night continues, his fourth touchdown. That's the 50th time in his career he has run for over 100 yards. He's already picked up 112, and the game is not even 19 minutes old.
We also watched the other Peyton, Eddie Peyton, do what only 5 other NFL players had ever done. Return a kickoff and a punt for touchdowns in the same game.
Look out. Walter Brothers on his way. Eddie Peyton. 98 yards. Lebo gets it off under pressure and drives Peyton back to his 14-yard line. Eddie Peyton. He could go all the way. The last man is Lebo. No flags are down.
And that night in Dallas, as barefoot Tony Franklin came on to attempt what was then the second longest field goal in National Football League history.
This will be a 59-yard field goal. A lot of distance.
Look at that.
Look out. It's good.
See? He did it in college. He can do it here. What a kick.
The Atlanta Falcons' Tim Mazzetti lived out every free agent kicker's fantasy. 3 weeks before the Falcons met the Rams, Mazzetti was a bartender. The Rams led early 7-0. Mazzetti made it 7-3. From 37 yards out, Mazzetti brought the Falcons to within 1. His third attempt from 30 yards out. And Atlanta had the lead 9-7. From 26 yards out, the lead extended to 12-7. Then Mazzetti would try for an incredible fifth field goal.
There'll be no more deliverances of scotch and water by Tim Mazzetti.
Now a 37-yard field goal attempt by Mazzetti.
There's a new name on the national football scene. The name Tim Mazzetti. What a Cinderella story.
I had come from nowhere. Just someone who had a dream, trying to make it in the NFL as a free agent. Everyone told me I couldn't make it. I kept trying and trying. I had tried out for about 6 or 7 different teams. Finally got a break in Atlanta. And then this happens to me. You know, people would say, is this like a dream come true? And my most common answer was absolutely not. I could never have dreamed this.
Memorable moments on Monday Night Football haven't been restricted to individuals alone. The Raiders have dominated this game in a way that almost defies explanation.
The first Monday Night Football started in 1970, and that was the advent, the beginning of the merger between the two leagues when they started to play each other. And I think the Raiders were determined that they would dominate Monday Night Football as well as the NFC.
You believe that George Bland is quarterback? He is. He's 46 years old.
Throw a bomb, George.
He wants Bradford. I don't believe it.
On 1st and 10, LaMonica. And he's going up in the air to Biletnikoff, and he's open. He got it.
I just tell them all, say, hey, they're all watching you. They don't think you can play. I'll show them.
Myron Matthews out of the end zone.
Look out.
represented a standard by which all other teams would be judged, and we wanted to make our mark in history. And Monday night was a night when the whole country could see our great players.
3rd and 10 now for Plunkett. Got a man open. It's Marcus Allen. Allen with a great cutback. There are no flags.
We'll send a stage, and we're going to send a message to the rest of the league that we're a damn good football team, and you just watch us and you'll see.
Plenty of distance. About that. George Gladden, through all of the years, one of the incredible artisans of victory.
I think maybe it just messed up our weekend, you know. All of a sudden, Saturday becomes Friday, and Sunday becomes Saturday, and it screws up your weekend, and we just maybe took it out on whoever we happened to be playing Monday night.
On first down, Faber back, a lot of time, going for Brent.
Monday night's kind of been tremendous for us, and it'll always be indelible in our minds, and it was a way to let the world know who the Raiders are.
Hi, everyone. I'm really Pat Summerall.
Well, if that's the case, I'm Brent Musburger here on CBS, and I'm the only guy in this booth without a hardware commercial.
I guess that means I'm John Madden, and I do have a hardware commercial and lots of others.
Tony Dorsett, who has scored an incredible Monday Night Football record 17 touchdowns. Now with the Denver Broncos recovering from knee surgery, his career in question, our memories of number 33 are unforgettable.
Ball back. Ball deflected, but he's still caught here by number 33, Tony Dorsett. Look out! Look out. All right. Gordon Thompson misses. It should be all over. It's all over. All right. 91-yard touchdown. Dorsett being congratulated. There's not a cold in the area. 1st and 10. Dorsett. Look out. Look out. This could be the distance. He has great speed. He's gone. On 1st and 10, White. All the time in the world. Look out, Dorsett. Oh, can you believe that? Lucius Sanford hit him, just bounced off, 73-yard touchdown.
It was always a dream of mine to play on Monday Night Football. And I figured, and I've always thought that when I got that opportunity to take advantage of it, capture the moment, do something great so people will remember you. You know, if it's from nothing else, it's what you did that one time on Monday Night Football.
Big opening for Tony Dorsett. Look out, he's got great speed.
99 yards and a half.
Dorsett's performances make him arguably the finest we've known on Monday Night Football. We'll meet others, but we'll not forget Tony Dorsett.